All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about the 7-3 Baltimore Ravens. They've won 4 straight football games, and today the defense really stepped up. Offensively, a little rusty, actually, very rusty. I would not anticipate Lamar Jackson to have just 209 throwing yards for any game for the duration of the season. Carolina's defense is really good. Got to give credit where credit is due, and they came ready to play. Carolina, they have a really solid defense. It's just it's bad on the offensive side, and Baltimore today did not make it easy by any means. They had 3 forced turnovers today, including 2 interceptions, that fumble, which was a complete game changer in the fourth quarter. There's big names, there's big playmakers, and I think that's just the good news is the defense stepped up, they made plays, they forced turnovers, and it's actually something that we've been seeing the last several weeks, like more than a month ago. So that's awesome. That is great news. Now, offensively, the J.K. injury, obviously, on the IR, I don't know if he's going to be returning for this season. Nobody knows. The thing is this, Demarcus Robinson looked excellent today. I don't know why guys like Devin aren't being used. 1 reception, 3 yards today. But the good news is the rushing game, they're doing what they have to do. Obviously, you have no Gus today, but you had Kenyon Drake, you had Lamar. They both did their things. Kenyon Drake had a really nice 29-yard run there in the fourth quarter, almost scored that touchdown. Then Lamar got the job done. So, I don't think, and obviously you have one of the best tight ends in the league in Mark Andrews. Before we get any further in this video, if you guys enjoy, hit the like button, hit that sub button. I do post a bunch of Ravens content, a few a week. If you want more Ravens content, show some love down below. But I really want to hear your guys' comments, hear your takes. My opinion is this. I would rather the Ravens start the season off a little slow or go through a little bit of it's not even a midseason slump because they've won 4 straight games. 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, not great at math, whenever they played the Saints, the game before this last one against Carolina, the offense started to click a lot better. So, I think wind was definitely a factor today, but I feel a lot better with Demarcus Robinson, former Gator, that he had, what did he have today? 9 receptions, 128 yards on 9 targets. Mark Andrews followed him up with 6 receptions for 63 yards. Now, unfortunately, there were some injuries. Ronnie Stanley, the Ronnie injury is really annoying because it really shouldn't have happened. Keep in mind today, the Ravens had 10 called penalties on them today. The refs were bad. I don't want to blame anything on refs. I don't like doing that. That's not my thing. But, keeping it a buck, the referees could be better. They could definitely have, been better today. But the Ronnie injury is even more tough. But, everything happens for a reason. Next man up, we'll see. Hopefully he avoids anything major. Kyle Hamilton, Notre Dame stud safety. He also went down today. So 2 big injuries, and that's really just been the thing with Baltimore this season. They're a really talented team, on both sides of the ball. They're a top 10 offense. They're a top 10 defense. We know they're phenomenally coached. They come in with a plan. They've got a great scheme. They've got the personnel. They have so much talent. This year they can't get healthy, man, and it's that's been an issue in the past. But this year, they've made water into wine. They have done 7-3. Who's complaining with 7-3? To me, I think the division is theirs. I think Cincinnati, Pittsburgh is still going on right now. It's like a complete shootout, 37-30, I believe. But I don't even worry about that. It'll come when it comes. I think that personally, I don't know how Ravens fans feel about Odell. Let me know if you guys want the Ravens to look into signing Odell Beckham Jr. I think they have enough. I think DeMarcus is severely underrated. Mark Andrews, in his own regard, is underrated. Lamar Jackson is underrated. Kenyon Drake is enough. Gus is enough. Devin, to me, I think he needs a lot more looks, a lot more opportunities. There were a lot of different points in the game. Prochet, that was tough. Isaiah, that was... But honestly, Lamar, it was just rusty, man. I think that's really the best way to describe it is I'm not going to put too much stock into the offense and specific offensive performances today because it was very, very rusty. I like that they are establishing the run, the ground game. 30 carries for 115 yards, just a little less than 4 yards per carry, and a touchdown with Lamar there in the fourth. But, you know, defensively, they're so good that they're going to be in all these football games. So that's good. That is great news. I know the Kyle Hamilton injury really sucks, but, you know, we're seeing it every time they step out onto the field, how crazy of an addition Roquan Smith was. Like, to me, Roquan Smith, you see the Chicago flag here, a little bit biased, but to me, Roquan Smith is by far, it's a little disrespectful. To me, Roquan Smith is the best linebacker in the NFL, and I think he's a leader. I think he is a playmaker, and the Ravens defense, they already were good. They already are good, and they just added another threat, another playmaker for that defense. Now, if you guys have been following this channel for the last couple of months, last couple of weeks, I made a bunch of videos on different receivers they could go out and get, or that I was hoping they would go out and get, like Brandon Cooks. I can't believe Brandon Cooks didn't get traded. I absolutely cannot believe it. I think he would have been perfect for Baltimore. The Rashad Bateman injury is devastating. However, good teams found ways to figure it out and make it work, and that's what we're seeing right now with Baltimore. Next week against Jacksonville, that's a game I'm going to be taking a lot bigger of an eye on. I'm going to be looking at it a lot more deeply because you've knocked the rust off. You played a really, really talented defense. You're playing now a struggling, rebuilding team. They have a lot of talent. They have a ton of potential over in Jacksonville. But to me, that's the game where I really want to see that offense click on just both sides. Rushing, throwing, everything. I want to see a limit in penalties. I want to see plays being made. And to be honest with you, Baltimore actually, they had a bunch of plays. A lot of them were either Mark Andrews or DeMarcus or Lamar, some type of combination of the three, whatever it was. Like, DeMarcus made a handful of catches today where I had to, like, rewind it. I had to go, like, whoa, how did he catch that football? So, thank goodness for Demarcus Robinson, because he is, I think, really just itching to get an opportunity. I know he was on the Raiders earlier this season, and once they got rid of him, I was a little confused, a little surprised. They have Devontae, but Demarcus Robinson's he's a veteran, he's in his prime, and he should be on an NFL roster, and he should be starting. He's a starter on an NFL roster. So we'll see what happens for the duration of the season. I'm curious to hear what Ravens fans are thinking about it. At the end of the day, man, a win is a win. And, I have this stat here, the 12 straight games with a takeaway. That's the longest in the NFL. So if you have a defense like that that's forcing turnovers, Baker Mayfield had nothing. We got Baker stats here. And they actually don't seem that bad. It was pretty bad, though. 21 to 33, 196 yards and 2 interceptions. He got sacked 4 times. Those are not good stats, sorry. Got sacked 4 times. There were just a boatload of pressures, and I feel really good about this Ravens defense, and hopefully that offense starts to click again next week, because there's plenty of football to be played. And like I said, if you're going to go through a slump, I'm glad the slump's happening right now. Start middle of the season, beginning, middle, whatever it's going to be. You just want to start, getting things in gear towards the end of the season, ride that momentum heading into the playoffs. So that's it for today. If you guys want more Ravens content, like I said, hit that like button, hit that sub button. Let's try and get to 150 likes on today's video. That would be awesome. Ravens fans, you guys have blessed this channel and all the videos that I've made, so I appreciate you, and I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about this team down below.